I'm back from a week in Kentucky. It's a magical place. It's a really, really cool place. Wanted to recap real quick with all of you what I got. Now, disclaimer, I did not film while I was in Kentucky. That wasn't the point of the trip. This wasn't a YouTube vlog thing. So if you're expecting to see video of me doing these tours or visiting distilleries or bourbon hunting, you're going to be really disappointed. Just go ahead and click off the video now. I'm not going to have my feelings hurt. But if you want to see the things that I picked up and hear a little bit about the pricing, the allocated market there, this might be the video for you. We're going to go ahead and start off with the first stop that we made in Kentucky. It was not a distillery or really even a liquor store. It was instead a huge retailer. So there is a retailer that does barrel picks. Every spring they buy barrels from a random distillery. I think they have a list that they go through. Last year was Old Forester. This year, Angel's Envy and Jack Daniels. And I'm not a big Jack Daniels fan, so of course I picked up the Angel's Envy. Now the Angel's Envy one, it's a single barrel and it comes with these cool little metal wings on it. But it also has on here, probably can't see that, there, Bullseye Pick number 5. Yeah, this is from Target, of all places. You can go to any Target in Kentucky, or I think even in Indiana. I don't know for sure about India. I think it's close enough that they get it. But those two markets exclusively get barrel picks of bourbon every spring. It is single barrel, has the label that has the barrel it came from, the bottle number. Just a really cool thing to see at a local Target store when you just walk in, you pick up a barrel pick. It was 90 bucks, which isn't a terrible price because the Angel's Envy gift shop will sell single barrel selections for about $97. So really cool find right off the bat at a Target store to find a single barrel pick of Angel's Envy. Next place we went to Buffalo Trace. That is the only day that we had planned for Buffalo Trace. We were hoping to find some time to go every single day, but we didn't realize our Airbnb was just too far away. So we went one day, and based on a website that I looked at, the odds of the bottle drop was either going to be Weller or Eagle Rare. It was like 47% Eagle Rare, 43% Weller. We were really hoping for Eagle Rare, and we went on a Weller day. Got a bottle of Weller Special Reserve. This is like my 4th bottle. It's not hard to find in Oklahoma, so I was a little bummed about getting this, but of course I had to get it because I waited in line for an hour to try to get it. So I got a bottle of Weller Special Reserve. While I was there, I also picked up a bottle of Buffalo Trace. Some of you may have seen on a video before that they sell this in Oklahoma for like $75 a bottle at some stores, which is just a stupid price. I can find it for around $25. I think I paid $29 for it at Buffalo Trace. But picked up another bottle of Buffalo Trace. And then we went to Castle and Key. Castle and Key is doing some cool stuff. They're using the Old Taylor Distilling Company, which is the original distillery created by E.H. Taylor. Yes, the guy that is the grandfather of bourbon. A guy that has a bourbon named after him at Buffalo Trace. Colonel E.H. Taylor originally created a distillery on this beautiful campus. It is probably the most beautiful spot that we went to in all of the distilleries. Castle and Key bought it, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. It was completely in ruins because it sat through the Prohibition and several years after the fact, completely uninhabited. But Castle and Key is doing some cool things. They have the original rick house that they inherited from the property. So the original rick house that E.H. Taylor himself used to age his bourbon, but they have no clue how to use it. There's no instruction manual. There's no, here is the best spot to find the best bourbons. So they're just moving stuff around and making these batches to try to figure out which barrels come out as the honey barrels. Which ones are the ones that are going to be the single barrel selections? Which ones are the ones that they want to go after? We did pick up their 2023 Batch 1. It's just a really good bourbon. I didn't get their wheated because I just wasn't really a fan of their wheated. Their straight bourbon was just phenomenal. So Castle and Key, I think I paid $55 for it. This is bottle 6137, aged 4 years, batch number 1. Really, really cool place. If you're going to Kentucky, you got to check out the Castle and Key campus. The next day we went to Michter's. They sold out of their bottle your own really quick, so we skipped that. And then we went to Stitzel Weller. Again, you may think Stitzel Weller is this. It is not. That is the original William LaRue Weller's location where they did create Weller, but they sold the Weller line off to Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace now makes Weller, and Stitzel Weller actually doesn't mass produce anything. They are primarily a storage and aging facility for brands like I.W. Harper, which is a Diageo brand, Bullet, and to name some others. I think Heaven Hill has some things there, and a lot of other places. They have a dozen rick houses that are all aged, that are all holding things that are not their products, but they do make something there. They're doing something really cool with their Blade and Bow. Blade and Bow is an experimental line. When they purchased the property years ago, they inherited several barrels of this phenomenal bourbon that has essentially been aged 20 years. And what Diageo has Blade and Bow and Stitzel Weller's campus doing is trying to crack the recipe of that bourbon they inherited. They also do this thing called the Orphan Barrel line. Some of you may have seen these things where they're $200 to $300 a bottle, where they are finding these warehouses that are abandoned from distilleries from years and years or even decades ago, and they're buying the barrels that are inside those rick houses, and they are doing them as a limited quantity. Once they're gone, and they call them the Orphan Barrel line, which was really, really cool to try. I did try one of their Orphan Barrels. I didn't spend the money on it because, $300, and this wasn't a bourbon that we tried. It was a Scotch. I just didn't feel that I wanted to spend $300 on a Scotch. They didn't have anything else available that day, but I did grab the Blade and Bow. This is key number 5, which those of you that do the key collecting, this is the hardest one to find, allegedly. So I grabbed it just because it was key number 5. I also did pick up an I.W. Harper. I cannot find this in Oklahoma. I have looked everywhere. I've been wanting to try it. It is really freaking good. It's aged in a Cabernet cask. Again, a Diageo product that is, I think, distilled elsewhere, but aged and stored at Stitzel Weller. Fun fact, I didn't know this. In the James Bond books, this is what James Bond drinks. The whole martini shaken, not stirred is only because they couldn't show brown spirits on TV. They could only show clear spirits. So when it went to movies, they switched it to martinis. But this is actually what he drank. This was really good. If you guys happen to find a bottle of I.W. Harper, highly recommend grabbing it. Next, we went to Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill had probably the best tour that I've ever been on. We went to the Bottle and Bond tour. We tried all their different Bottle and Bond expressions. And since we did the tour, we were able to purchase a Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond after the tour. $59.99 for a bottle. This is really hard to find here. The only time I did find it, it was $100. So half price for me just to do the tour and then pick this up. If you guys happen to find a Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, highly recommend grabbing one because this is some good juice. But I also found one that was like 20 bucks. But it's JTS Brown Bottle and Bond. I cannot find this anywhere because apparently it's only distributed in Indiana, Kentucky, and like 2 other states. So I picked one up just to have here. It's actually tasty. It's like $18. Really good bourbon for the price. All right, now we're going on to the Costco finds. We went to a Costco because Target, we had the single barrel. Costco did not let us down. While they didn't have anything exclusive, we did find a Knob Creek single barrel select, and I spent $52 on this. I've seen this around here for, $80 to $90 a bottle. I tried to find some Knob Creek 12. I just couldn't find any, but for 52 bucks, that's a really good price for this single barrel select Knob Creek. Super glad to find that. It was limit 1, so I only grabbed the 1, but good find. All right, liquor stores in the area. Blanson's there is $200 high end, $130 is the lowest that I found it anywhere. Did some research and found some places that when I asked them if they had allocated stuff, they said, well, we hold that for our regular customers, which I took as some kind of clue of if you buy some stuff, maybe we'll let you in on it. So I did just that. I picked up a Cooper's Craft $49.99. This is just really good juice, not rare, not allocated. I picked up another bottle of Belle Mead Sour Mash. It's discontinued outside of Tennessee, so I won't be able to find it here much longer. I've only found 1 bottle in all of Oklahoma, and I picked it up. So I grabbed another bottle so I could enjoy it. I picked up a Bowman Brothers small batch. I've heard good stuff about it. I don't think this is the super allocated, super sought after one, but I've heard really good stuff about it, so I picked it up. And I picked up a Buffalo Trace Bourbon Cream. If you guys haven't seen my video on Buffalo Trace Bourbon Cream and root beer, check it out. It's really freaking good. Anyway, after I bought those 4 bottles from him, he let me in on a little secret. They had a bottle of Eagle Rare, and he was going to let me buy it for $60. So for $60, I got myself an Eagle Rare, which is not a bad price for Eagle Rare. I see this regularly on secondary for $80, $100. Some of the liquor stores there had it for $120. So for $60, I wasn't going to pass that up. And since I bought it without hesitation, he let me in on another little secret. They had a bottle of Blanton's that I picked up for $70, which is a damn good price for Blanton's. I think you picked this up at Buffalo Trace for like $65. This is dump date January 18th, 23, Rick number 32. Super, super cool to find this. For those of you that have seen some of my videos, I've been looking for 3 years to get a bottle of Blanton's, and now I finally have one. It is a horse in, but it's also the first horse that I've been able to find in the wild without paying a huge markup or secondary pricing. So overall, really good find. I got 16 bottles total, and really good stuff, I think. I could be wrong. If you guys have tried any of these bottles before, let me know your comments down below. If there's a distillery that I should have checked out or something that I should be looking for, or anything else that you think could be helpful for my next trip to Kentucky, let me know. Much appreciated. And if you guys know anything about this Bowman Brothers, I'm half tempted to open it, but I'm going to wait a couple weeks because I have something planned. Let me know what you think about this Bowman Brothers. It looks pretty good. I've heard good stuff. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Much appreciated. I'll see you guys on the next one.